the University of Oklahoma chapter of the American Association of University Professors. It's a mouthful, guys. Anyway, they kind of found this one. A lecturer at Acadia University tweeted about a bunch. It's actually a pretty good thread if you check it out. But anyway, tweeted about a bunch of these laws coming down. Again, from, let's roll to the top, American Enterprise Institute. In recent days, there's been a flurry of articles by conservatives seeking to set some guardrails on how states go about banning CRT and related books. They support the bans in principle, but for strategic reasons worry they might be going too far. They are right to be worried, because what's happening in Oklahoma is a new bill in Oklahoma, also pre-filed last week, explicitly requires teachers and university professors to lie to their students about American history. So in an attempt to ban, again, critical race theory, which isn't taught in K through 12, is a kind of niche legal political theory that's taught in colleges, but in an effort to ban thinking, learning about ideas that make white people uncomfortable, they are promoting a new law that says no state agency, school district, charter school, online instruction funded in any manner by the Oklahoma legislature or personnel or agent of such state agency, school district, charter school, or online instruction shall teach, use, or provide for use by any pupil, any curricula, instructional material, or assignments designed to teach components of the 1619 project as part of any curricula, course syllabi, or instruction in any course or program of study, including that one race is the unique oppressor in the institution of slavery, which is insane. This guy literally wants to ban that white people conducted slavery. What? Anyway, and then another race is a unique victim of the institution of slavery. Or that chattel slavery wasn't black people. It's... Yeah, it is overreach for sure, but it's also just it's what we've all been saying the whole time is call it CRT. I don't even care what we call it anymore. These motherfuckers don't want to teach history. They don't want to teach what actually happened. What are we gonna next say? Trail of Tears wasn't indigenous people. It was there might have been some indentured servants that got tossed along there. You can't say it was just white people against Native Americans. You gotta teach the whole history.
Listen, anyway. It's not critical race theory. It's critical racist theory. That's what we're dealing with on our hands.
Seriously.
I honestly, I cannot imagine the absolute audacity that we honestly deal with when it comes to our education system. These are the same people who are constantly talking about local control, small government, not doing this. But I can't teach my kids the truth. Is the problem. They won't even let me teach the truth. So now let me ask you this. Nick, you've been in education, you have, and you're surrounded by educators. In the context of a private school, right? What effect do they have on that? If we had our own private school that taught everybody our own stuff, would they be able to come down and be this is critical race theory? They couldn't do that?
Not if they get state money, that's the trigger for this. And that's what's interesting to me about all this from a policy standpoint is there's some wild unintended consequences here, which is why that thread started with American Enterprise Institute being ban CRT, but maybe slow your roll on some of this other stuff because say you're a parochial Christian school that teaches, white nationalism or white Christian dominionism, and, 10 of your kids now get the Lindsay Nicole Henry Scholarship, a voucher, through the state. I believe, based on the wording of this law, that we can regulate what you teach. Because the law says is, any school that gets funding from the state. So now, this can be used against private schools in certain ways. So it's a bad law. I mean, it's just it's an insane, 1984, big government. I mean, it's crazy shit. Yeah, Big Brother, puritanical, Orwellian watching. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's all those things. But yeah, I mean,
I'm just going to start my own school, Nick. Like that's like not a charter. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to take any public money away from anybody else. But like, god dang, if this is the route that we keep sending our kids on, like I understand why like the rights on like we want to go send our kids in private school. Okay, because you know what? Fine, if I'll do it. I'll have my own liberal school, have my own progressive school, because. Well, frankly, like the quality of education is at this point, if we just can't even teach like any history, might as well throw the rest of it out the window too. Like, what else are we going to be teaching kids for?
right. I mean, yeah, I'm still like a fight for public schools till the end,
Oh, sure.
cat. And my deal is like you really like so many decisions are made at local levels in many different ways. So I don't, I don't think these laws are particularly enforceable. I just think they're really crazy and putting I don't know. They're gonna undermine public schools in the sense that they're gonna keep putting these like culture war fights kind of front and center and force everyone to defend, this like kind of really bad policy. And it'll give, conservative activists a lane to make schools have to fight about this stuff over and over. So to me, that's the real detriment to public education is like, instead of like teaching our kids history or teaching our kids to be better people or teaching our kids literally anything, we're going to be relitigating culture war grievances forever.
Yep.
And teaching people like a distorted, inaccurate, not true version of history. Thanks for watching our video. Please give it a like and hit that subscribe button for more content. If you want to engage with us, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram.